You can get more dogs.
Okay, good morning. I'm going to call to order this meeting of the Sweetwater City Council for Tuesday, May 12th. And we're going to ask Kathy Monroe from First Presbyterian to do our invocation and Council Member Carrie Baker to lead us in the pledge.
Pray with me, please. Almighty God, we give you thanks for this new day, and we give you thanks for the opportunities that it brings. We ask your blessings upon these good folks before us who hold office in the government of our town. Help them, Lord, to do the work you have for them to do in a spirit of wisdom, kindness, and justice. Help them use their authority to serve faithfully and to promote the general well-being of Sweetwater. In the holy and precious name of our Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Join me in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
And thank you all. Thank you. Okay. Item 4, which is to discuss, consider, and act upon approval of the minutes for the meeting held on April 14th, 2026.
Move we approve the minutes. I'll second the motion.
Have a motion and a second. If there's no discussion, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the minutes are approved. Item 5, calls for public input. At this time, anyone is allowed to speak on any matter other than personnel matters or matters under litigation for a length of time not to exceed 3 minutes. No council discussion or action may take place on the matter until such matter has been placed on an agenda and posted. Is there anyone who wishes to speak?
Probably don't need a 3-minute timer. As you came by today to drop off y'all's copies of Dasha's book that was autographed by her, we distributed a little over 600 books within Sweetwater ISD. Last week we went to Highland and did another 80-ish there. It's been well received. I think when we did our book signing, we probably had 75 kids show up to get theirs signed by Dasha, plus parents and some other community members. So it's been a really great project. We're working on the next book for next year. So thank y'all again for all your support on it. Y'all can keep those, donate them to your kids, grandkids, whatever you feel the need to do. So thank y'all.
Thank you.
All right.
And thank Dasha also. Anyone else wish to speak? Okay, now move on to item 6, where City Attorney Samantha Morrow will administer the oath of office to Mr. Kerry Baker, City Council Member, District 2, and Ms. Stacy Boyle, City Council Member, District 4.
So we'll each repeat after me, and then when I point at you, you're going to say your own name and your own office. In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas, I
Stacy Boyle.
Harry Baker.
do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of Mr. Baker, City Council Member District 2, or Ms. Boyle, City Council Member District 4, of the state of Texas, and will to the best of my ability preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state, so help me God. Answer in the affirmative if you do.
I do.
I do.
And this is your statement of office that I
Stacy Boyle.
Harry Baker.
do solemnly swear or affirm that I have not directly or indirectly paid, offered, offered, promised to pay, contributed, or promised to contribute any money or thing of value, or promised any public office or employment for the giving or withholding of a vote at the election at which I was elected, or as a reward to secure my appointment or confirmation, whichever the case may be, so help me God.
I do.
And Ms. Boyle, your title position to which you've been elected is City Council Member, District 4. Mr. Baker, City Council Member, District 2.
Yes, ma'am.
You will execute these written documents at the end of the meeting.
I don't want-
But congratulations.
Thank you.
And I would also like to extend my thanks to the both of you for agreeing to serve for another 2 years. Okay, item 7, which is presentation from the Nolan County Renewal Project to the Sweetwater Police Department and the Nolan County Sheriff's Office. I'm sorry, what?
So the Nolan County Renewal Project held its annual trail run fundraiser. We had over 160 participants this year, almost doubling last year. We raised over $20,000 from sponsorships and participants. And this year, as the president of the Nolan County Renewal Project, I'm excited to award $10,000 to the Nolan County Sheriff's Department to aid in their mental health efforts and their transfers. I worked really hard on writing this down. We would also like to award another $10,000 to the Sweetwater Police Department to also aid them in their mental health transfers, which is a growing number and a growing cost attributed with it.
Thank you, Stacy. Moving on to our regular agenda, item 8, which is to discuss and consider and act upon a resolution appointing a mayor of pro tem for the city of Sweetwater and prescribing the term thereof. Does the council have any questions? I will entertain a motion.
I nominate Mr. McPherson.
Okay.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to appoint Councilmember McPherson as Mayor Pro Tem for the coming year. If there's any discussion, we will vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is approved. I'll now read it into the record. A resolution appointing Mayor Pro Tem for the city of Sweetwater and prescribing the term thereof. Item 8B, to discuss, consider, and act upon approving appointment of Ms. Brandy Thompson to city position number 4, and Mr. Mark Webb to city position number 3 to the city, to the Sweetwater Nolan County Child Welfare Board. Any questions for Becky?
Do they attend meetings currently? You anticipate they'll attend?
They said they were willing to serve, so that was recommended from the board.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. There's no further discussion. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? These appointments are approved. Item 8C, which is to discuss, consider, and act upon approving reappointments of Ms. Jackie McCoy and Ms. Carla Perez as city appointees to the Pioneer City County Museum Board of Directors with terms expiring June 15th, 2028.
I make a motion, we consider and act upon approving reappointments of Ms. Jack McCoy and Ms. Carla Perez as city appointees of the Pioneer City County Museum Board of Directors.
Second.
Okay, have a motion and a second. There's no more discussion. We'll vote. All those in favor of these appointments, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the appointments are approved. Item 8D, to discuss, consider, and act upon orders declaring structures on described properties within the city of Sweetwater to be dilapidated and/or deteriorated and unfit for human habitation so as to require repair, rehabilitation, or demolition, providing a time with which to rehabilitate, repair, or demolish such structures, and providing for the repair, rehabilitation, or demolition and removal, which requires a public hearing for each property. At this time, our city attorney, Samantha Morrow, will swear in code enforcement officers Robert Soto and Brad Grizzle for their testimony regarding the following properties in the public hearing.
Thank
Oh.
you, Mayor, and I understand that Corey Stroman also intends to provide testimony in this matter, so I'll swear him in as
Okay,
well at
thank
this
you.
time. Do you, Corey Stroman and Brad Grizzle, solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give in the matter pending before the city council is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Thank you. We'll now proceed into public hearing. Do I have a motion to open the public hearing for 1906 Douglas Street?
I move we open. Oh, second.
Who was my second? Okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we are now in public hearing regarding 1906 Douglas Street.
Thank you. 1906 Douglas. I think everyone on the law enforcement side knows exactly where this is. He's been a repeat offender for a very long time. Just since I've been here, we've been dealing with this individual many times, trying to get him to come into compliance. We've sent the city work crews over, well, 2 or 3 times since I've been here. The last time has been very recent, where we took heavy machinery. I say we, Kelly and his guys in the service center. They went over there and spent numerous man hours and dollars spent trying to remove and abate all of this clutter and junk. The picture with the white car is a picture. There is no alley, so you can see clearly all the way through there to the back side of the house. The walls are completely missing. The backyard is that right there, turned into a literal landfill. The walls are missing. We did obtain a warrant with Danny Heine, and we went in to see everything. The inside of the house is basically in clear view from the backyard. There are no walls. Everything is stripped. I wasn't willing to go any further than that, but basically you can see the extent of what this individual has done to this property. And again, I'm not a person up here to deem anyone take their property or take their home from them and put them in a worse off situation than they already are. But as I think about these things, I step back to the street and I take a look at the neighboring houses and the street and the neighborhood that surrounds it, and there's just no way we can let this go on if we care anything about the entire neighborhood as it is. So like I said, we sent letters. We've sent numerous letters over the period of time that I've been here. We started several substandards. It's a long story, but we did send the last 2. The first one came back. The second one, talking about today's date in this meeting, did, however, get delivered. and that individual is not here. I don't know if anyone else is here to speak on that, but I'm just here to present the facts to you guys and let you guys vote to see what y'all want to do about it.
Okay. Thank you, Brad.
Is anyone actively living in the house right now, or
So the individual, he's there, he's in and out. Sometimes he's around. I know there's a second spot down at the dead end of Douglas that we know he's basically been trying to relocate to, because I can only assume this place has just gotten so bad that he himself can't physically stay there. I mean, it's inhabitable, other than just being a place to hide, you know, and keep doing what he's doing. But I don't know where the guy is. I went by there yesterday just to do a quick drive-by and hadn't seen anything change really, other than all the work that the city guys have done to clean up. But there still needs to be a lot more done to get it completely gone. And if we don't, you know, the structure's gonna stand there, and it's just gonna give him a place to hide and a place to be and a place to continue, and he's just gonna keep doing what he's been doing. And it's just a magnet for all the kind of negative types of individuals that are in that area. You know, to see it completely removed and gone, to where we don't allow a place for people to exist that want to do this.
Is there some information to suggest this location is being used for criminal activity?
Sorry, what was the question?
Is there some information to suggest this 1906 Douglas Street location has been used for criminal activity, without going into details of any specific case?
Yes. Mr. Justin Rule is, I believe, the owner of the property. We've spoken to him at the property before, and he is here to speak as well.
Yeah, I got much to say. I mean, I might agree with you on the criminal activity in the past. As degenerate as it all looks right there, unorthodox as it all may seem. I do own the place. Owned it for about 2 years. Ain't hardly done a whole lot to it. There was a lot of good material there at one point. The city helped me out, cleaned all that stuff up. I mean, it was overwhelming maybe at a point, you know. But at the same time, I don't know why it couldn't be cleaned up and still be, you know, doesn't need to be bulldozed necessarily, I don't guess, you know. Or if I can get some kind of, I don't know what I'm supposed to say here, some kind of extension or something to make the house work.
Do you have a specific plan for how you might go about cleaning this up?
Well, they did most of it on the outside. I mean, that was a big help right there. Rake all the trash out for one, and patch up the walls on the outside. You know, like there's a couple pieces of tin on top that need to be screwed down right, where there's no leak or nothing like that, which really ain't leaking nothing on top. Just little by little, day for day, you know, kind of thing.
And forgive the forcefulness of this question, but do you have a plan for cleanup that does not include city staff helping clean it?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I talked to a gentleman that lived around the corner there. He, what is his name? Kenny? Has a shop about a block and a half from there. He said he'd trade me a little bit of work for hauling some stuff to the dump. You know, not household trash, no cans, bottles, stuff like that, but everything else, you know, the other junk food. He said we'd make a couple trips to the scrapyard or something, and he has materials to trade as well, so that's
And
kinda what I was gonna
what
go
kind
with.
of time frame are you looking at for this?
I mean, to patch it up and get all the trash out of there where it's able to start moving forward, I'd say about a month. At tops, like it'd be progressively within a month,
And
now
Miss,
that all the stuff on the outside is out.
and if I may, Mr. Grizzle, would what was just described by Mr. Rule make this location compliant with code or otherwise habitable? And certainly, if Mr. Sherman has an answer to that question instead.
If I can speak to that for a moment. I assisted Detective Piney in
executing the administrative warrant on this residence. That was at least a month following contact with Mr. Rule, in which we described the numerous violations. The progress on the residence has been made only on behalf of intervention from the city at the cost of the city. We spoke to Mr. Rule about voluntary compliance, and perhaps if we as a city could assist him in some of these factors. In examining the actual structure of the property, I would say that it is quite a task, potentially either financially unviable or just unrecoverable, given that the back wall of the residence is missing. There's numerous places where the structure has been affected. Electrical wiring is absent in most places, and the places it is present is extremely exposed and would pose a fire hazard to allow the utility to continue there. Couldn't speak to plumbing because the underside of the residence was inaccessible due to all of the debris. But being that this is an older model trailer house, rehab of this house is going to be extremely difficult, if not impossible, based off of what we saw in the administrative warrant.
And just so it's clear for the council, whichever city representative can speak to this, how many times has the city gone to do remedial cleanup at this location?
Offhand, I know of at least twice, and I know one of them was extremely recently, in the last 4 to 6 weeks, and prior to that, not much time had elapsed between it and the other mitigation to remove all of the debris, which for all of the other residents, it creates a haven for vermin, poses a threat to the public safety and welfare, along with the beauty of the neighborhood. This isn't necessarily anything, and I think Mr. Rule has agreed with us on that the neighbors would appreciate having to live next door to each day.
And just to be clear, the photographs that were taken during the execution of the administrative warrant were taken after the city most recently tried to clean it up.
That is correct.
If I could comment on the photograph on the right, the trailer house we're looking at is the one beyond the white car. That's the backside of the structure, and there's no wall there. It doesn't show up good in that picture. And not being critical of our staff's photography skills, but the pictures don't do justice to what this property was. I've had a conversation with a neighbor, and he reported to me a significant vermin problem that has improved quite a bit since the city stepped in and cleaned that up.
And that, thank you, Mayor. And to be clear, the problematic structure is the one behind
Correct.
the white car, not the trailer that we're seeing in the side of.
Correct,
the
yes.
profile of.
Well, in reality, Brad, I mean, is the building even salvageable? I mean, really, that's to me the bottom line here too. It's one thing to clean it up, but if the building's going to fall down and there's structural issues, it's very difficult to repair a trailer house, if not impossible.
Can I butt in anywhere and just talk freely, or, I mean, I don't know, I was waiting, trying to be too patient. But, behind the white car there, the wall that's missing, it still had all the studs and everything else there. It was supposed to be an add-on, but I couldn't start that add-on until some of that debris was out of the way, and, I got city, got with the city,
Well, you'll have to have like building permits and
yeah,
other,
thank you,
and-
that, yeah, that's what I was having to.
but if the building is,
Reconstruction, that all there is, straight down the middle, that's not main load-bearing wall right there. It'd be right directly behind is a black door. Around that corner to the left there is a black door that you're seeing. There's a wall all the way, was never taken out from, the structure. It's still exactly as it were when it was built. Like you say, maybe the picture ain't quite doing justice as far as, what you can see, what you can tell, but, I don't know if you can zoom in on it possibly, maybe, get an idea on that, but,
And how long have you been working on this property, sir?
I haven't, I've owned it about 2 years, and I haven't worked on it yet. I hadn't started really building somebody else's foundation, but,
In that 2 years, has anybody resided in that residence?
yeah,
Any children?
no, sir.
Mayor Pete, there's also someone else here wanting to speak on behalf of that property. When it's-
Okay.
Do you feel like this is fair to your neighbors in the community?
No, absolutely not, man. I
Then
mean,
why haven't you done anything?
before I owned the property, which isn't really part of what this is, the neighbors said also they had to deal with the same kind of issue, you know, prior. I mean, it's been been something ever since, you know, even before I owned it and then I bought it and after, but I still would like a chance and opportunity, even though I've had that time and time again, Robert Soto and everybody else has given me that chance and it never happened. But, I still take it.
But you've given these chances and you still haven't done anything.
Well, I mean, I've progressively shifted stuff around, but, you know, there's a lot of material there that was supposed to go to the outside and everything else that the city man took that part of, not getting it together myself, you know. I can always come back across the material, tools, et cetera, whatnot, you know.
So you're not challenging the city's provided you notice of the issues and given you time to fix it?
If that's the only choice I have, then I guess I would like a challenge, but if that's, you know,
Well,
beyond.
Let me word it a different way. You admit that the city's provided you notice to the issues at this
Robert,
property and given you time to
And
fix
the
it.
city has, well, I don't know about fix it, clean it up as nice or, you know, trash, debris, whatnot. And,
So this hearing is not of a surprise to you because you've been regularly in communication with the city regarding this property.
I mean, if I were to keep a phone, we'd have got a lot more communication and trigger with time. As far as a surprise, no, not necessarily.
If I may, counsel, allow the other person who's here to speak and then if there's any rebuttal from the city.
But I will ask, like, I mean, if it, go ahead.
I live around the corner from this.
Would you step up to the microphone, please?
And
My name
please,
is Matthew Hall. I live on 1304 Highway Walker. I've been there for about 8 years. So this actual property here, Miss Straley used to own it years ago, about 10 years ago. It was a very nice place when she lived there. And when she passed, it was handed on to a family member and then was sold probably for $5 down the line. But over the past 5 years, there's been multiple criminal activity in the whole area of this neighborhood. And when they move from this house, they go down to the corner block, to the other corner block, about 4 houses in our block in that area. And they're all beginning to get trashed like this one. Down at the corner of the Douglas that was talked about, and then over on Bristol and that other street, the corner criminal activity, and the one that y'all are always at too. As for me, as a community member who lives around the corner, I would love to see this place get cleaned up. You can tell from the roadside, the back, front, it's not livable. I've seen multiple people living in it at times, coming and going, backpacks walking down the street, carrying junk in and out all the time. So, I just would like for it to get cleaned up. That's what we're here to do.
and you agree with this, Mr. Rowe? You're nodding in affirmation that this is correct.
Everything he has said, absolutely, like, people coming in and out with book bags, I almost had an unfailing plan and I never counted on some thievery, you know, like the tool was missing or, you know, items coming up missing as far as, material, what we're trying to get at, material or tools and then, you know, something comes up missing and then it's kind of useless kind of thing. And,
Sir, do you mind speaking at the speaker, so, do you mind speaking on there so it could be on record?
Rambling, mumbling. No, I agree with him. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, ma'am. Let me sit down with that one.
Mr. Rule, you do appreciate you'll still be the property owner if we do go ahead and declare demolition, but there will be a lien placed against the property for the cost of the demolition. You do understand that?
I was curious on, what are we looking at right now as far as the work they put in and the charges?
I wouldn't have any knowledge. I want to make sure that you understand the procedure that will follow. That you
Well,
will.
I understand the procedure that will follow, but I mean, if we can refrain from that at all, get it cleaned up, there's not much more further from
They
that.
still got a lot of money to pay back that's already been cleaned, and then you're gonna, demolitions come.
Okay. Are there any further comments?
Money's not the issue, man. I paid $7,800 in back taxes. The owner that was currently owned it sold it for $2,000. I paid Johnny Castrino $15,500 3 days later, and that's the house I bought. So that-
Maybe,
that's money.
Mr. Rule, I would say we don't want to engage in a
No,
back and
I
forth
think
here.
it's-
I would say, just to clarify, it is the recommendation of staff to move forward with the declaration of dilapidation so that the property can be properly mitigated to avoid the strain on the neighborhood, along with, in our opinion, it's going to be beyond repair.
Well, if it comes to decision, I'll be the one for that, because I don't usually
All right, if there's no further comments, I will call for a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, and the public hearing is closed. Do I hear a motion for declaration of dilapidation and/or deterioration and unfit for human habitation and order repair, rehabilitation, or demolition of 1906 Douglas Street within 35 days of date of order?
So moved.
I'll second the motion. 25 days.
Okay, have a motion and a second. If there's no more discussion among the council, we will vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, and the motion carries to order repair, rehabilitation, or demolition of 1906 Douglas within 35 days. Thank you. Now move on to the second property, which is 1511 Crane. Do I have a motion to enter into public hearing?
Motion.
Second.
I appreciate that.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So we are now in public hearing regarding 511 Crane Street. Comments from staff?
This one burned, I'm not sure the date. We have some updated information from Stroman this morning as of this property, but we did send out the letters. They have all come back. We've not had any contact with any of the property owners. The building, I talked to James, the fire marshal, and he was on site during when the fire happened to do his investigation. I spoke to him, I believe it was yesterday, and asked him about this one as far as the inside and everything. He said it was pretty much gone. I have not been inside. That back structure has been unsecured for the entire time we've been investigating this location. Again, we have not been able to find anybody that has any contacts to it or try to get any kind of information or any conversations about it. And again, it's just been sitting there like that. So same thing as everything, always with these things is about the neighborhood. So we went ahead and started cases and sent letters, and they're all come back due. Mr. Stroman does have some updated information for that.
So this being a slightly different situation in that the residents have been displaced by the fire, communication perhaps a little hampered by that, was contacted this morning about 8:15, so just prior to the start of this meeting, by the property owner who had heard that it was set for this hearing because I'd shared it, ran into an acquaintance. And she advised she hadn't received any notice. She has already reached out to a general contractor, but because of the surge in demand for construction, the contractor hasn't been able to give her an official estimate or an opinion on their side. So she did respectfully ask for 60 days in order to come up with a figure. I explained to her that it's already set for public hearing, so the best effort we could do would be to potentially table this particular residence until she's able to get an estimate from her contractor. And so I did explain to her that we would potentially, or go ahead and recommend that we would table it, since there is a very big trend and difficulty with getting contractors at this time. So ideally, yes, the house does look like it's going to require extensive repair, but they haven't had the opportunity to actually gather all of that information for themselves.
You said this was a fire?
It was, yes.
They had insurance on the home?
I do not believe the house was insured.
Anyone else wish to speak on 511 Crane Street? Is there any reason, since she's asking for 60 days, that we could not go ahead with the motion declaring dilapidation and change the time frame from 35 days to 60 days? And if there's no progress demonstrated at that point, Samantha, will that work?
There's no legal reason you can't do that.
Okay. All right. No one else to speak on this property. I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And the public hearing is now closed. Do I hear a motion concerning this property?
We just want to do the
A
60
motion
days.
for- What I'm suggesting is that we use the same motion we have typically used, that would exchange the 35-day figure for a 60-day figure. That will grant the extra time to the homeowner.
I'll make a motion for declaration and to extend to 60 days instead of the 35 days from date of order.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and the motion carries to order repair, rehabilitation, or demolition of 511 Crane within 60 days from date of order. Proceeding on to the third property, which is 302 Bowie Street. Do I hear a motion to enter into public hearing?
Make a motion, we enter public hearing.
I second the motion.
Okay, have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
We are now in public hearing regarding 302 Bowie Street. Anyone on staff?
So 302 Bowie is another one of our problem areas. We've cleaned it several times. This one, we're not talking about the main structure, we're talking about this little shed thing. It's in violation of several different codes. It was built without a permit. It is on the property line, which you're not supposed to be able to do. And can't think of the third, but the main reason is we've had to come several times and clean this property. It creates a nice little nook that's kind of hidden from public view unless you come down the alley. But at the end of the day, forgive my terminology, but it promotes what would be considered a homeless camp in that neighborhood. And that's kind of the reason we want to get rid of this shed here that kind of promotes that.
So you have had people living in this structure?
There's
Knowledge?
I don't know that inside there's a chimney stack, so that leads me to believe that somebody is trying to use that. The house itself is secure. Through our investigations, we have reason to believe that individual is incarcerated, and there's always people living on the back porch, in and out of this structure, and basically camping. There's a home right next door to it that's a duplex that someone has spent a lot of money to fix up and potentially rent. And like I said, we've been over there several times and done big cleanup jobs, and it just continues. And I think if this was gone, we would have visual all the time from the street, and it wouldn't promote this quote-unquote hiding spot.
Anyone else want to speak on this property? Do I hear a motion to close the public hearing?
I make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, the public hearing is closed. I will now entertain a motion concerning this property, 302 Bowie Street.
I'll make a motion for declaration of dilapidation or deterioration for the one structure that they're suggesting.
Okay. Yeah,
I'll second the motion.
okay. So all those in favor of the demolition of this accessory structure at 302 Bowie, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries to order repair, rehabilitation, or demolition of an accessory structure at 302 Bowie within 35 days of date of order. Item 8E, to discuss, consider, and act upon readopting the City of Sweetwater tax abatement guidelines and criteria for a 2-year period. Good morning, Misha.
Good morning.
Morning.
So these guidelines are the exact same ones that City Council adopted in May of 2023. We are working with several various other developers or maybe some retailers and stuff that may be able to utilize a tax abatement to get them over the line to build new construction here and stuff. And so we definitely just wanted to stay poised and ready, which is what this does. Just as a refresher, if the city council or if something, an investment locates within the city limits, unless city council nominates the reinvestment zone and does a tax abatement, no other jurisdictions can give them one, which includes the county and the hospital district. The percentages don't have to match across the board or anything. They don't have to match in the term of the abatement, but it is a step to allow these other taxing jurisdictions to be able to offer larger incentives than what the city would. Texas tax code requires that we look at these guidelines every 2 years. Of course, if y'all remember, we've only done one, which was EMA electromechanics. And it was at the time of Icy Breeze closing down and stuff. And so it's time to just kind of have them updated so we're ready to, if someone needs to utilize them or if we need to use it as an incentive to get someone here, they'll be ready to go.
Move we approve the tax abatement, excuse me, guidelines and criteria for the next 2 years.
Have a motion and a second. There's no further discussion. We'll go ahead and vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion is approved. It's now time for our city manager's report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The city pool is opening May 23rd. Crews are cleaning, preparing, and painting the municipal pool in preparation for the upcoming swim season, which starts Saturday, May 23rd. Special thanks to Jonathan Boone, Archie Miller, Megan Hutchinson, and Jordan Gunter for their work on preparing the pool. I'm sure we're leaving somebody out on that, but I know they've been working very hard, and I know Justin's crew has helped with some leaks out there too. The SNAP Summer Fan Drive is coming up. It's hosting a fan drive to help local seniors beat the West Texas heat. Your donation, big or small, can make a big difference. Let's come together as we always do as a community to support our seniors and help them stay safe and comfortable this summer. Drop off donations at the SNAP building, 1701 Elm, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. through 4 p.m. Stacy, do you want to talk about the Nolan County Renewal Project?
Yes, but my notes on my phone. The Nolan County Renewal Project is a local nonprofit that raises money for mental health resources, counseling, and organizations. For the last 2 years, myself and Jennifer Cunningham have been working on updating the current paper resource directory that had all the different organizations here, Workforce, Seed, Chamber of Commerce. And with the help of the website designer Brody Yasso and the incredible Jeremy Dodd at DMI, they have given the money and their time to create this website, and the website is now complete. The Nolan County Resource Directory holds everything that for different organizations, nonprofits, the city council numbers, just everything that any resources that we have here in Sweetwater. And the NCRP is excited that we will be launching that live this summer. We will be quarterly updating those information, the contact information, so that is up to date, and giving this link to all of the local organizations so that if they have any needs, they can just direct the person, our citizens, here to this, and they will be able to find all of the information that they need. The NCRP is incredibly proud that we were able to do this. This is just another way that we are linking arms with our citizens and getting the help that our citizens need by giving them the information in this area and all of the resources that we have to provide.
And last, certainly not least, we continue our partnership with the Pioneer Museum, highlighting the people, traditions, and moments that help shape our community. Let's take a moment to watch our latest edition of it.
I was adopted when I was 3, and my dad had a funeral home here. They brought me here to live, and it's still the most special place I've ever lived. This building is 4 floors. The basement, this, and the attic is the whole thing. And I'd go out and lay out on the roof to get a suntan. This was my playroom. It wasn't big enough for a bedroom. It was my playroom, and this is my bedroom, or was my bedroom. Things so little though. I thought it was a big room. This was my dad's room, Mother Daddy's room. It was right here, the police hookup. Anything that went from the police station to the police cars, my dad heard it because he had an ambulance. And you didn't hear it during the day because there were a lot of things going on. And I had several people come over to spend the night different times, and they didn't notice that until we went to bed. And it really frightened them. They thought, who is that talking? A couple of them went home. They weren't comfortable with that. But my good close buddies, that didn't bother them a bit. When Danny and I married, I helped push a lot of people up and down, helping him. He had to have some help. Oh, how's the train coming?
It's come on. They're test running some of them and getting them going. So
Can we go out?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you got to come. I begged my daddy, please let me have a train. And he said, I can't let you have a train. We can't have that noise. Even if we have nobody in state, you can't have that noise. Well, how about this, Daddy? We have a train here. I'm thrilled to death. And I love Sweetwater. I love everything about it. It has its ups and downs, but it's a good community. And I've been here since I was 3 years old. And we've lived in Ashburmont and Hamlin, and I love both of those. But this is my home, and this is actually my home.
If you haven't visited the Pioneer Museum, I highly encourage
We built a
you to do that.
$49 garden.
Amazing museum, and we appreciate everything you do, Ms. Bennett.
Thank you, City Manager. Just would remind the rest of the City Council of our Charter Review Committee meeting this Thursday at 5:30 here in Chambers. At this point, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Excuse me, I make a motion we adjourn.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. And I declare this meeting adjourned at 9:48.